For those that are first-time guests today, you'll see a sign behind me, TPAbenchmark. We like to say we are a community of over 100 TPA owners nationally. We work with a number of partners, and ASPA is at the top of our list. We have partnered with ASPA for, I think, 3 or 4 years with our members, and our members take advantage of discounts on exams, and we offer a lot of ASPA resources. So we're delighted to call ASPA one of our very best partners, Tiffany. Thank you for joining us. Delighted to have you. Before we launch in, maybe just tell us a little bit about ASPA and your role, so that everyone gets to know you the way I know you.
Sure. So I'm the Director of Education Sales for ASPA and the other sister orgs. And our goal really here is to come up with certifications and designations that do help TPAs as well as administrators and people who work with retirement plans. So that's really what I do. Thing is, when I started the area, I didn't really understand until I really started working with education, but there's something called the scaffold of learning. And basically what it is everything builds on top of each other. So when we're doing training, we want to start at a very basic level. And then when we move to that next level, we're building on those same concepts and just expanding the knowledge. And it helps the learners retain more information and learn quicker. So a quick example of this is how we built IRP and RPF. And for people that are not familiar with these, IRP is Introduction to Retirement Plans, and it's for employees that have no experience in the industry. They don't know what a TPA is. They don't know what a record keeper is. So it's really setting up those foundations for them. And really, it's the for employees in their first few weeks, they can concentrate on learning these things while you train them on other things. So that's IRP. And then building on that is RPF, which is Retirement Plan Fundamentals. And again, it looks at those same concepts and really goes deeper into it. So IRP is the who, what, why, how, and where. And then RPF goes more into the life cycle of the plan, how do contributions, distributions, and things like that. IRP, RPF really is that first step into ASPA education, or really a lot of retirement plan education. Those are certificates, so they're great to get. But as you start to move into your career and through your career, using designations is a great way to do it, both for the company and for individual employees. So I know Don had mentioned QKA, that is our first designation. It's a great place to start. And I think what it really shows from an employee standpoint is that they have a dedication to learning about the retirement plan space. It's an employee who's willing to invest time and energy to really grow and learn in this industry. So I know a lot of companies I work with, it's almost like a litmus test for some employees of, is this employee that's going to stay with me and really look and grow? And we really see QKA as a starting point for administrators, client relationship managers, even salespeople. If you've got a TPA salesperson, which I was in a past life, having that knowledge of retirement plans really makes you better at selling them. So we see it there, account managers, internal and external people. So QK really is that foundational piece that most people start with and get.
I'll just echo what you're saying, Tiffany, because like I said, we are privileged to work both sides of the equations now. And for owners that are looking to hire salespeople, we find increasingly they're not just looking for folks that can, engage with prospects and kind of, bring them in the shop, but they're looking for folks that can do that plan design consultation and help on that side as well. So I 100% agree with you that for salespeople, that's a great designation. I'll also say for our owners that are looking to hire administrators, having QKA on someone's resume is a big plus. Uh, some of our owners will only consider candidates that have QKA or at least demonstrated the pathway to that being the RPF. And I think it's just a great career tool for people to have, to present themselves so well with their current employers that they have an aptitude for continual learning. We see people that have been in the industry for 20 years that just keep wanting to go higher and higher, and even get that CPC designation. So I think it makes them more valuable to their current employer. And just that attitude of continual learning is something that we find that employers really value. And it allows them to just be so much more valuable to the TPA owner, because they have not only these great designations, but really the great continuing education that you all provide to supplement on the job education. So I'm just reinforcing what you're saying in terms of what we see in real life experience.
Perfect. And the other thing that you just made me think of is another benefit for the owners of firms of having QKAs is I'm seeing a lot of people use that in their marketing. That's really a great way to distinguish yourself from maybe another TPA. Sometimes we look at price, but I think the really smart advisors and smart clients are really looking to see how many people with designations does that TPA firm have. And if you can really demonstrate that in your marketing, I think that really sets a TPA apart.
And to your point, Tiffany, in terms of the competitiveness of the work environment, qualified candidates who have these designations often have their choice of several TPA owner opportunities. And one of the things we find is the question, does the employer, support my ongoing education? Will they pay for me to do the designations? Will they pay for me to go to the annual ASPA conference? So I would make the case that from an employer point of view, not only does it make you more attractive with prospects, but it makes you more attractive with your hiring pool as well if you support these designations, because we're finding the environment is such that, not only are you interviewing the candidate, but because the qualified candidates, are a more limited pool today than they used to be, let's say, it gives you a basis of differentiation if you support the ongoing education and the CE, and yes, we'll send you to the annual conference. So I think it presents value to the employer in a number of capacities.